Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt, and as I run a D&D club in our local library, I was able to get the D&D After School Club kit from Wizards of the Coast. So this is a kit that's designed to help you run a club from the very beginning, from the start, and teach players how to play. Let's see if it's very useful. First off is this poster, Dungeons and Dragons Played Here. I'm going to put some items on the table here so you can see the scale of this. Would this be useful? Because that's going to be my focus here. Is this going to be useful for doing what you need to do? I would say yes. You're going to have the head librarian if you're running a game in a library, or a principal if you're running a club in a school, allow you to put up a poster. And what this is missing is contact information. So I would get a 3x5 card and I would tape it in one of these lower corners with your name and contact information, the time and location that the club's going to meet. Here's a good spot, here's a good spot. That's what this poster's missing. You can do that yourself. Hey, you know how to run Scotch tape. So it also included the D&D starter set. That's available at your friendly local game store, and it's available online. This has been reviewed. People have done unboxings of it. You pretty much know what's in it. It's a starter adventure. It's got some pre-made characters. Your pre-gens in this box are on pretty much standard character sheet format. Human Paladin, Dwarf Cleric, etc. One set of dice. And the adventure Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. There's a set of rules for D&D. It's a very slimmed down version of the player's handbook, very much so. But that's kind of separate, it's wrapped in cellophane. Fine. You will get Learn to Play D&D DM guides, 2 of them, front and back. This is to hand out to your new DMs that you're going to have running games at your club. Teaching D&D. Give everyone a turn. Learning the rules takes time. Focus on the fun. So that's good advice. Okay? Welcome to Dragon's Rest. The goal is, you're going to be having a full encounter that runs 60 to 90 minutes long. The next adventure, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, etc. There's tips on how to run an encounter with zombies. So that's actually fairly useful for your new DM that you got at your club. Voyage to Stormwreck Isle. Okay, these 2 are the same. You hand one out to each DM. Read this text to set the scene, and it's basically read out some text and you say, hey, you're in a boat and it's stormy. And then you get on and, hey, this monster shows up, and show the players a marrow. This guy is like, hey, give us all your stuff. And it's your job to run the encounter. They could do any number of things. They might negotiate with the marrow. They might attack the marrow. Here's its stats. They might try shenanigans like, can I try to maneuver the marrow so it gets hit by a swinging yardarm? Can it get tangled up in a sail? Can I roll a barrel to push it overboard, etc.? When the players ask these sorts of things, the answer should almost always be something like, you can try. Almost always, because sometimes they might want to try something that's flat out not going to happen. Follow up with a request for some kind of ability check, unless the character has a specific spell or ability that'll let them accomplish what they want to do. Keeping in mind, we have beginner DMs, beginner players. Wizards actually did a fairly good job of putting out some materials to try to help you get started from point 0. I will give them credit. Now, Wizards has done some things that were absolute mistakes, but they've done some things right, and they've done it right here. This sheet, singular, and it's actually like water resistant. It's slick, it's shiny. You can almost write on it with a dry erase marker, as opposed to this, which is more normal paper. This is the instructions for the organizer, front and back. There's things like over the course of 4 to 5 weeks, you can schedule sessions of Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, focusing each week on a specific chapter of the session. 4-week course, weekly play breakdown. You get one session a week for 4 weeks. A couple of frequently asked questions for how D&D is run. As an organizer, you'll need the following: ample table space. The Learn to Play D&D weekend play experiences are suitable for 1 Dungeon Master and up to 5 players. You will need Dungeon Masters. You will need 1 DM per 5 players participating in either game experience. Make sure to give them a copy of any materials they'll need in advance of their scheduled time. And you'll need a schedule. There's some notes, such as ensure the DM has all materials they need. Be sure to have DMs collect the ready-to-play characters at the end of the game. These can be reused over and over. Which reminds me of, you have 2 packs of these cards. And these cards are characters, pre-gen characters. They look like they're the same ones in the starter set. So you would technically have 3 sets of pre-generated characters, pretty much all the same. This is going to be actually pretty useful. This might actually be a better format than the character record sheet. It's certainly more condensed. And, okay, you got 1 card, you got your dice. Okay, I don't know how to play D&D, but this is what I got. And the DM is going to tell me what I can do. Yeah, as a new player, I think I could handle that. And, of course, this, which I find much less useful, personally. Dungeons & Dragons help is on the way. Scan the QR code to visit playdnd.com. Find tips, resources, and guided instructions to start playing D&D today. And, of course, D&D Beyond is available. It's out there. And we're letting you know that it is. Enjoy your D&D Beyond subscription. So that's the after school kit. I think they did a pretty good job of giving you most of what you would need to start a D&D club at a school or a library or attached through some other kind of nonprofit. Now, the only thing I found a little bit odd is in the starter set. Now, this starter set is just straight off the rack at a friendly local game store, but it was included in my package. Okay, 1 set of dice. Awesome. Nice dice. 1 set of character record sheets, already made out for you, front and back. Okay, cool. Not bad. Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, The Adventure. Okay. I've heard good things about it. Hey, you got your monster stats, yeah, whatever. Okay. Nice, cute little adventure. Hey, sign up for all our social media or our websites for ourselves. Okay, cool. Starter set rulebook. This is a condensed version of how to play D&D. Some equipment, not all the equipment, not all the spells. You know, it's enough to get you going for a few character classes for a few levels. Okay. Wow, my box is really full. It's so full. There's a cardboard spacer that takes up half the space of this, half the depth. When you're at the store, you don't know that this is in there, so you don't know that how full my box is. It's worthless. It's really worthless. You could use it as a dice tray, but then again, you could also use the box itself as a pair of dice trays. So you don't really need this. at all. There was no point in them including that in the starter set. But that's the starter set. That's what's available at your local game store. The rest of this is only available as part of the after school kit, which is all this totaled. I would say that they actually did a pretty good job of giving you what you would need to start a D&D club. I am assuming that the organizer has at least read through the player's handbook, maybe the DM's guide before trying to start this club up. Hopefully you have at least one, if not more, DMs that have actually played the game before, because there's really no substitute for experience. But here we have, yes, one cat. Anyway, there we go. Dungeons and Dragons Adventurers League played here. Be part of our community. Join us weekly on. Well, there's a spot for time and date, but what is Adventurers League? That is not defined in any of this material here. So that's if you want to play Adventurers League type games, that's going to be that's going to be different. That's going to be a standardized game set of, your characters are only player's handbook plus one book. You're going to have to get deeper into this before you can do Adventurers League, and that's going to be part 2. How are you going to see both sides of the poster? Unless you put it on a glass door or a window. Yeah. That's it for now. DM Kurt, out.